Welcome to the Manticore Expert Series. We're here to help you get more from the Manticore. We want to empower you to fully understand this phenomenal coin and treasure detector so that you're confident enough to customize it to your environment and your detecting style. Welcome to part 2 of the Manticore Expert Series. Today we're going to be discussing target separation, we're going to be discussing the stabilizer and also Minelab product updates. We're going to kick off by heading over to Paul. Paul's going to be demonstrating on a target. He's going to be adjusting recovery speed to achieve more depth, but he's going to lose a target because he drops his recovery speeds, therefore he loses his target separation. Watch as he re-elevates that recovery speed back up to the factory default and then he re-attains the target. Let's take a look.
We're on the site of an old bonfire. Again, recovery speed important. You can hear the sound of the iron. If you check it out on the ferrous limits, you can see where the iron's falling. We'll increase the stabilizer. So we've got a target in there. Now what we'll do, we'll lower the recovery speed. You wouldn't classify any of them as a diggable signal, but if you put the recovery speed back up, in there now you're getting one nice target in the middle of the screen and no mess.
So remember, depth isn't everything. Always sacrifice depth over performance. Get that performance. Keep your recovery speed as high as you need to for the environment you're in. Now we're going to head over to Luke and he's going to show us some examples of the stabilizer and how that combats iron falsing. And he's also going to bring in that recovery speed demonstration again to show it with these different targets.
Still an example on the stabilizer, and I'm going to show an example on the recovery speed as well. So recovery speed is on 5, I'm going to check the stabilizer is on 1. So we have a little bit of iron falsing over here. Over there we have a real deep low conductive target, and over there we have a high conductive target. So I'm going to focus on the iron falsing. Gonna engage the stabilizer on 5. Stabilizer on 5, iron is gone. Still have the low conductive target. Still have the high conductive target. I'm gonna do the same thing now. I'm gonna bring the stabilizer back to 1. So I have the iron falsing, low conductive target, and I'm going to bring down the recovery speed of the machine at 2. Low conductive target is gone, and it's a chirpy feedback, one-way signal on the high conductive target. I'm going to raise the recovery again to 5, 3, 4, two-way signal, 5, stock settings. Low conductive target. So stock settings are really good. Recovery, keep it high. So this is ideal to take the small chirps away from iron. Stabilizer will only affect targets who are combined with iron. Solid targets, stabilizer will not react to those targets. So don't be afraid to lose targets. It will only improve the detecting experience.
So as you can see, the stabilizer function is amazing at combating iron falsing. Please ensure you use it, it's there to help you. Don't be shy of it. In the final part of the video, we're going to head over to Mark Laurie, Minelab's General Manager of Engineering, and we're going to discuss Minelab product updates.
Have a modern coin.
So, Mark, what is Minelab's philosophy with software updates?
So we have spent a lot of effort making a great machine. Manticore is a good example. We have a large team of engineers back in Adelaide designing these products, and we spend a great deal of effort making sure the testing and the development systems are very high quality. So we develop a system, we go through a stage of making prototypes, and then we'll get it out to field testers before we launch the product. Now, we never quite know everything and how the customers are going to use it when we launch the product. So typically after we've launched a product, there might be sort of 3 or 6 months where we're gathering data of how people are actually finding it. And then we'll quite often do a software update, which tends to be what I would call almost tweaking features. Occasionally there's a little, maybe what we would call a bug in the business, but we don't get that very often with Minelab machines at all. And then we might wait another 6 months or a year, again, monitoring, are there any fundamental features we need to tweak to just give the best for the customers that have purchased this machine. But then really we won't do any more software updates because we've made a machine that has got, particularly this Manticore as an example, it's got a lot of settings that let you basically make it whatever machine you want it to be. So it's almost like you could describe it as engineer's delight in that sense.
Yeah.
But we've tried to make it as simple as possible, well, because we have a philosophy around the user interface of making it as simple to use as possible. You should be able to just turn the machine on and it go. So really we'll only do software updates if we're adding new features that actually add value to the machine, and the actual modes are all designed in such a way that they don't need tweaking or changing. And if you've got somebody that's come up with a brand new way of doing detecting, there should be enough settings in a Manticore, for example, that they can tweak it, set it up how they want.
Yeah, I suppose a good example of that is maybe the underwater boost that came in the last, or the only Manticore update. The fact that maybe it was better received than even thought of in the diving community.
Yeah.
And then that was a great idea.
Yeah, and the stabilizer is also another thing that we realised we need to do a little bit better on just handling the chatter. We'd created a beast, and the beast was getting a little bit excited sometimes, so we just had to add the stabilizer to help with that.
Great. Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Key takeaways from this episode are: depth isn't everything, and lowering recovery speed too much can lose more targets than it gains. And also, the stabilizer is there to help you with iron falsing. Don't be shy of using it, as it doesn't affect non-ferrous targets. Join us in the 3rd episode of the Manticore Expert Series, where we will explore audio preferences, and please do contact us with any questions you have.